Alright, so now I've had some time to mess around with this fountain pen a little bit more, but I really am impressed with the way that it writes. It's a medium nib, I should say. And the ink dries relatively fast. This part's still a little wet as we speak, but yep, see, now it's dry. But as far as I can tell, I mean, it's, I'd say, very comparable to the Lamy that I've been using in the past. But yeah, I just, this is a number 6 nib, as I've stated in the past. And you can go to golepens.com. I think that's the name of the site. I'm not exactly sure, but you can actually vary the line width. I don't know if you can see the difference there. I don't want to be too rough on it, but it is possible, as you can clearly see. So that's pretty cool. And as you can see, the ink just really shines on the page. I really like the way it writes. Yeah. Such a pretty color. This is the same Naples blue I've been using in the past. So, but I really do like this pen. I will admit that it is a bit different from the Lamy Safari, and as I noted before, you can see it says 18 karat gold plate on the nib. This is not gold plate, it's silver. But I think Jinhao had actually done some other nibs that were gold plated and just didn't relabel it. But as you can see, it writes very nicely, and I'm very impressed with the quality. Especially the way the color jumps on the page. Looks great. Yeah. Like I said, this is a number 6 nib, so as you can see, it's quite a bit bigger than the Lamy nib. In fact, I actually have the Lamy right here, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the difference. Yeah, here it is right here. See, this is the Lamy nib. Quite a bit smaller, as you can see. And then here's the Jinhao. Yep, so there's the comparison. I think I actually like the Jinhao a little bit better. As far as the feel is concerned, it's a much heavier pen because this is metal, and you can see right there that it's got the night sky pattern. When the light hits it right, it's kind of rainbow colors, so it's very pretty. And you can see it says Jinhao right there on the cap lining thing, and then it says X750 right there. I think what it says around it is like in, I don't know, Chinese or something. I don't know Chinese or any of those Asian languages, obviously, so I don't really know. But now, if you press really hard on the nib, you can get that railroading effect. Well, it's not doing it there. Hold on. There it goes. Hold on just a minute here. Oh, it didn't do it there. Whoa, that's really wet. Look at that. That's a really wet line. I'm going to let it dry for a little bit because that's can be kind of messy. Yeah, there's the railroading. Railroading is a term for fountain pens because it looks like two railroad tracks, but this is not a flex nib. But I really do like the color of that that ink. For those of you looking for a good bottled ink, I'd really recommend Naples Blue from Private Reserve. Yeah, I apologize that that's not all in line there, but whatever. But anyway, I am very, like I said, very impressed with this pen. Really like how it writes. I would say it writes just as good, if not a little bit better, than a lot of more expensive pens that I've seen. And as you can see, that is a very wet line. But it dries reasonably fast if you just give it some time. I mean, you can see these two lines are pretty much dry. And this one's, yeah, see, it's not as quick drying, say, as like a roller ball pen, like a uni ball pen, but it's, you know, it's decent. But it's, see, there's your regular touch right there. But then if you really want to bear down and get a really wet line, there you go. Kind of a brush effect almost. It's pretty neat. Let's see here. Just gonna do a little design pattern here. Well, rip the paper. See if it, yeah, it did bleed a little bit, but like I said, you have to bear really hard in order for it to bleed. I mean, as you can see, if you just do like a regular line like that, that's not gonna bleed much. Yeah, see, that's not that bad. But if you bear down really hard, it'll soak through the paper. But I really have fallen in love with this pen. I know that sounds really weird, but see, I pulled the pen too fast right there and it skipped just a tad, so you have to kind of know what you're doing here. Yeah. And just look at the way that just glimmers on the page. I know that bottled ink is really yesterday, but it's a lost art, and I think more and more people should get back into it, so to speak. So, but that's just my opinion on the whole situation. But anyway, I've had some time to mess around with that, and it was a lot easier to actually get used to this pen than I thought it would be. I thought it would be kind of awkward because the lamy is plastic and the barrel is a bit thinner, but actually the way the barrel tapers off at the bottom near the nib, that's actually a lot easier for me to use. Or maybe about the same, I don't know, but as far as I can tell, yeah. But you just gotta love just that hue of that blue. For those of you who don't know, blue is my favorite color. I am thinking of upgrading to a bold nib at some point. I don't know when, but I'm hoping. And by the way, I'm not advertising for Goulet pens, but I'm just saying that gouletpens.com is a good site for accessories. So, I'm not advertising for them, and I'm not trying to like do copyright infringement or anything like that, but if you need like nibs or ink or anything, good site right there. Go for it. Good prices and stuff like that. Now the number 6 nibs that you can get from Goulet pens, which is I think what I'm going to try when I go for a bold point on here. See, this is a medium nib. It doesn't specify it, but I know that it is because that's what Jinhao actually says it is. But anyway, they actually have a GP for Goulet pen and an ink splatter logo on it. So I'll be able to tell the difference in those. Skipped a little bit there. Every once in a while the pen skips, but for the most part it's a very vivid ink flow. But I am going to go ahead and show you how to change the nib on one of these things now that we're on the subject of this. I'm probably going to get my hands a little messy here, but Dawn dishwashing soap usually takes care of that. Anyway, you have to kind of jiggle it a little bit to get it out. And see, I got ink all over my thumb already. Dang. Oh well. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that off. There is a actual trick to getting the nib off. You have to kind of jiggle it some to pull it out, but I don't remember exactly how to do it. Kind of hurts your hand a little bit. Well, I don't know. And see, now I made a mess. I look like I'm half smurfed now. And now there's ink all over the nib, which doesn't look very nice. But there is actually a way, believe it or not, to change nibs. And for some reason, I cannot seem to get it off. And now it just made a real mess. Maybe I'll just get it off like that. Ah, that got it. So there. Wasn't the most practical way, well, I guess that was the most practical way to do it, really. As you can see, I'm making a heck of a mess here. But yeah, see, this is the actual nib. It's actually a pretty long nib, so to speak. But it is capable of being taken off. But anyway, my hands are all messy now, as you can see. But just to change the nib, just pull it out like that. And now I gotta take it and put it back. So what I have to do here, you just put it back. And no, I didn't break the nib. I know it looks like I did, but I didn't. But you just have to put it like that. And then there's a thing that you gotta feed it through here. Push it back in like that. And that is how you change a nib on a Jinhao X750 fountain pen. And actually, I think I may have... Yep, hold on. I gotta take it out one more time. I messed that up. Yeah, I gotta scoot it back up a little bit here. Let me just wipe it off again. Yeah, I gotta push it up some. There we go. And then put it back in. Make sure I got this right. Well, okay, I totally messed that up. This is why my mom makes me change nibs or ink in my room. She would have a fit if I got that all over her sofa. So, anyway, let me see if I got this right now. Got it. Perfect. And as you can see, I got Naples Blue Private Reserve ink all over me. I'm just going to make sure this thing's still right. Uh-oh. Don't tell me I broke it. Maybe I didn't get it in there hard enough. Hold on. Oh, I see. I think there might be a trick to getting it back in there. Let me see. made a hell of a mess. Excuse my French. Man, this is not good. As you can clearly see, I'm not very experienced in changing a Jinhao fountain pen nib. I really hope I didn't break it. Doesn't look like I did. Nah, I just made a mess. Okay. Still not writing. I don't know what I did here. That thing is a bear to get out of there. Probably should have just left it alone. I'm going to go ahead and take the converter out, see what I did wrong. Anyway, that's basically how you change a Jinhao nib. I gotta figure out how to fix this. But anyway, I appreciate you watching my video and have a very good night.